If you're not beating inflation, you're losing buying power. And
the Fidelity cash management account, I like to call it a hybrid account. And people don't think small things actually matter. But I like to tell people.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Calvin Russell here. Super excited to bring you all yet another set of guest speakers. Okay, now you've seen these young ladies on our channel before, and listen, with the last video you all told us to bring them back, and that's exactly what we're doing. So listen, get your notepads out. They don't have a lot of time, but they're most definitely going to be dropping some gems for all of you all that want your money to grow in 2026. All right, so without any further ado, I want to introduce you all back to the channel, the Wealth Twins, Nicole and Nadia. Ladies, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you. Hey, how you doing?
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, again, thank you all so much for carving out your schedules, because I know you guys, outside of content creation, your moms and, you all have your businesses and things of that sort. So we greatly appreciate you all for stopping by the channel today.
Well, thank you for having us, and thank you guys for wanting us back, because we like being with you guys. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So just so we know who's who, so raise your hand, Nicole, so we know that when I reference you, okay, perfect. And then, of course, obviously Nadia. All right. So perfect. Perfect. So, you know what? Before we go too deep into today's topic, I just want to give a little bit of background. What made you all want to actually start a YouTube channel? And not only that, because you're twins. So, for you to say, you know what, for both of us to carve out time to do this, to educate people on this information, how are you all able to come up with that idea and honestly stay consistent and stick to it?
Ooh, okay. So I think I'll take the first part. Why did we choose YouTube? Originally, we thought we would be podcasters, but Nadia and I, we tend to sound alike a lot over the phone. And I was like, well, if we're going to sound so much alike, no one's going to realize that there's two people talking. And we would announce ourselves, this is Nicole talking, this is Nadia talking. I was like, it makes no sense. And then with video, we're twins. So we said, why not have people see us as actually being twins? So that was the difference of why we went to YouTube versus podcasting. And how do we carve out time? I'm still trying to figure it
out. I think it's easier for us to carve out time because Nicole and I stopped working in corporate over a decade ago, right? And it was more about, what is something that we can do together and we can have bigger impact on people. And we both had a banking background and we both were in investment banks for years. And Nicole has an MBA in financial instruments. So we said, you know what? One of the things that helped us was learning how to invest our money. And I think that's one of the best ways we can help other people increase their wealth by learning how to invest, because we know it's a very intimidating concept to people, but we want to get people comfortable enough to make sure like they treat their brokerage account like they treat their bank account. As comfortable as you are going into a bank account, you should be that comfortable going into a brokerage account and using it to build your wealth. So that was one of the reasons why we say, you know what, let's create Wealth Twins and let's do this together.
And when it comes to the discipline, I think Nadia and I got over it really quickly when we believed that this was bigger than us, because we talk about money, but it's more of one of the symptoms that we realize that can change a person's outcome. So when you're talking about how families are destroyed when it comes to money conversations, parents are fighting, people are not speaking to each other. The family collapses when someone important passes away, when the money starts being talked about. But if you have that structure in place and people have the education and the money is taken care of, then the family unit starts getting better.
If you're looking to increase your credit score, qualify for homeownership, or lower your monthly car payment, we can help you. We can take a look at your credit report and create a custom game plan for you to help you accomplish your credit goals. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video.
You actually get more choices. You get more access to opportunities. So this is something we said, if we do this, this can help out more people. So Wealth Twins is bigger than us. And once you realize that, Nadia and I, we might argue behind the scenes, but we know that we have to do this day in and day out or week after week because it's bigger than us.
Absolutely. Well, listen, you young ladies are blazing a trail and people want the information. And not only that, let's be honest, we're getting, when I say older, like, it's a good thing, but these are things that we need to be talking about, right? Regardless of, like our age and things of that sort, because the problem is a lot of people wait too long, or I won't say too late, because I don't want them to just feel like, okay, it's not enough time, but we wait like too long before we start taking these things serious. And like my wife, she talked about a lot of things. She's like, you know what, we need to start talking about retirement and things of that. So I'm like, I said, listen, how about, you just again, bring that information to me. We'll have that conversation, go from there, because you get so tied up with other things. But these are conversations that we need to have. And like you mentioned, especially, I'm gonna be honest, especially in the Black community, we do not talk about this enough. And, for example, most people, they learn from their parents. They learn from, who's around them, friends, family, neighbors, church members. It's really about proximity. And if you don't get that information, then you're not able to apply that information. So it's no longer an excuse to say, well, my parents didn't tell me. You now have so access to YouTube and Google and AI and so many different other tools out there to get the information. And that's why we wanted to bring you all back today. So let's get into it. Okay. So listen, a lot of people have been talking about various ways to grow their money. But what I like about you two is that you guys have always given advice based on things that you've either researched heavy or the things that you guys actually do on your own. Okay. And so, for example, there was something that you guys were talking about recently, and I want to make sure that people understand something, because obviously people have checking accounts and savings accounts. But what I'm noticing is that people are not using their accounts properly. They're not, they don't even know that a lot of these other accounts exist. So my first question is that most people, they think that their checking account, they think that it's harmless. Okay. Is their bank account actually costing them money? And how is that doing so?
I think so people are comfortable with having bank accounts. And, that's a big step for a lot of people, because a lot of people didn't even grow up with bank accounts. So the fact that people get a bank account, they're like, okay, this is all I need. But you're not understanding, because of the digital world right now, there's so many products out there that it's similar to a bank account, or just it is a bank account, but they're paying better than you would get paid when you're going to these traditional brick and mortar banks, right? So a lot of people will go to Chase, they'll go to Wells Fargo, they'll go to Bank of America, right? When you put your money in those bank accounts, a lot of times you're going to have a minimum requirement balance in there, right? And if you don't, you're going to get hit with fees. Two, they're not paying you anything on your money.
Real quick, be sure to download our free ebook today. All you got to do is scan this QR code right here or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video.
They're paying you 0.01%, right? And if you're getting paid on that money at a 0.01%, you're not going to beat inflation. And that's one of the main things we want to do when it comes to our money, okay? Because if you're not beating inflation, you're losing buying power. And even if your money is sitting in a bank and you're saving, that money you have in there is not going to be worth the same amount you could have had your money worth if you had put it in higher interest bearing accounts. And they can be bank accounts. So that's one of the things we try to put to people. Just because you have your money in a bank account doesn't mean it should stop there. See if your money is earning what it should be earning, for the banks to be able to have the ability to use your money, right? And use it to your advantage so it can grow your wealth. Not just sitting there and growing someone else's wealth, but helping you grow your wealth and at the same time staying safe.
I want to say, when it comes to what you said, Calvin, we have all this information out here, and sometimes that amount of information becomes overwhelming.
True.
But if you don't use a piece of information to actually progress, this is where you have a problem. Because I think if you have a regular checking account, unless you're a person who really does want that hand-to-hand or eye contact, where you can go into a brick and mortar bank and you can actually speak with a representative, or you have cash and you're using that on a very frequent basis and you want a place to actually deposit cash, if you're not doing that for that's the reasons why you're using that bank, then you're actually settling. Why? Because these brick and mortar banks, like Nadia said, are not paying you a high enough interest. There are other places that will pay you higher interest on your money, but you're also getting charged on the back end with a ton of fees. People really need to understand how much fees can affect your money, right? I like to call it, like, I know one of my friends, she likes to call fees a 4-letter word, because it is bad for you. When they're taking fees out of you, that means that you're getting money taken away that could not compound for you, right? It's a negative effect on your money. So you have to watch it, because even a small fee can end up having a big effect. And people don't think small things actually matter. But I like to tell people it takes small holes that can actually sink a big ship. So if you're not aware of those things and you're just using bank because it's convenient and you're not thinking about all the things that you're missing out by actually doing a little bit more research, then you're actually settling in this day and time.
100%. I like how you all are aggressive today. I'm feeling that today. So
I just got back from the gym, so I got that blood pumping,
You're Nelly. Sorry, you're Nelly.
Yeah, shout out to you, Nelly.
That's what's up. But no, listen, you're 100% right. And, I like how you broke that down too, because, small holes, it can still sink, a big ship. And, again, and it's your money. We don't want to just be freely just giving this out. But again, people don't know what they don't know. And that's exactly why we have to continue to have these conversations, but with the right people, with the right knowledge, because there's also people that give them bad information as well, too. But again, that's why we have you all here today. All right. So now, here's the thing. People have been talking about various different accounts, and there are so many different accounts out there, but one in particular has been trending, very hard lately. And it actually has a lot of great benefits for people to, consider, as one of the places to have their money. And you all talked about this recently too on your channel as well too. So for someone who's never heard of the Fidelity Cash Management account, can you break that down for us and kind of break down, the benefits of having that type of account? We'll start with Nicole.
Okay, thanks. So the the Fidelity Cash Management account, I like to call it a hybrid account. So they advertise it as a place for you to put your money where you can hold it, spend it, and also grow it. And how do they achieve that, right? They achieve it by you placing money into the account. They're giving you a higher interest rate for you holding that money in the account. But on the other side, they're giving you a debit card. There's no fees associated with it. There's no minimum balance associated with it. So that means you can actually use it as a checking account because you also have check writing abilities too. They give you free checks and they have no fees when it comes to ATM. So they reimburse you for any ATM fees that you might incur by not using ATM that's Fidelity because there's no Fidelity ATMs. So you have the benefit of being a checking account and you can use bill pay as well. So it's a checking account and a savings account. Now, what makes this good too is that it's also an investment account. So they are able, you can choose when you actually get this cash management account to do two things. You can either put it in what they call a sweep account, which is basically a bank account where you could just save the money and it's FDIC insured through their program banks, or you can use the other half, which is their money market account, where it's an investment account where you can put it into that investment account where it's just, sitting there gaining interest because they're investing your money in very safe securities, which is government securities. So you have an investment account, a savings account, and a checking account all in one with no fees, no minimums, and it's very convenient for you. So I think it's a great account.
Wow. And Nadia, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, look, the rates that they're paying on it on their sweep account is probably like 1.5%. It's around there. So
Mhm.
it's going to pay more than what the traditional brick and mortar banks are. And the other one that Nicole was talking about, their money market account, is paying about 3.3, right? The thing is with this, they're going to pay you higher than a regular checking account because most checking accounts you don't get any interest payments on. But what it also does, if you are hesitant about where you're going to invest your money, or you have some cash sitting in your brokerage account, it allows you to make some interest on and get paid interest on that account because it's better for you to have your money sitting in your brokerage account and then you're able to buy what you want quickly rather than waiting for that money to come over from another bank and then buy your investments, right? So while your money is sitting there, you can grow it with some interest, but you also have the flexibility to use it to buy something. So that's what I like about it. There are places that might be paying more, but this gives you that extra flexibility because you don't have to wait for that money to come over from your other bank before you start investing.
That's great. That's great. And that leads me to my next question because, right, there's a lot of different accounts that are out there, even though, like, obviously this one is trending and such. The thing about it is that the reason why I think a lot of people don't make the move or consider just having their money in different accounts in general is simply because they're not used to it. They're used to having that brick and mortar bank. So, an account like this, are people able to use this like a normal bank account? Like, for example, can they have direct deposit set up? Can they have a
Yep.
debit card? Can they have bill pay and checks? Is everything about the same with that?
Yeah, everything's the same with this one.
Now, the
Got it.
only
Okay.
difference is that you can't deposit cash. That's it.
Got you. Okay.
Okay, so you
Can't
have to have
deposit cash.
another account set up, or if you get checks, they get mobile deposit with the checks. You can do that, but you cannot deposit cash directly in the account, and you're not going to walk into a Fidelity bank to do that. So those are the only limitations.
Yeah. When you say cash, Nicole, it means you can't physically go take cash to a Fidelity branch and say, "Hey, put this in my account." You can move
Yep.
it any other way, and yeah, you can get direct deposit from your job, have your paycheck directly
And you
deposit
can
into
also
that
pay
account.
bills out of it as well.
Yep.
Got you. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, outside of that one small piece, it could easily work out, just like any other, checking account that people are used to. So now let's kind of walk through, let's say, the journey then. So for example, when someone, let's say if they have direct deposit and their money actually, hits that account, what happens to that money that you're saying is a little bit different than a traditional brick and mortar checking account?
Okay, so with that, when you set up this cash management account, you're going to make a decision. Either you're going to go into that sweep account, which I mentioned is like a regular bank, right? And you're not going to get very much interest, or you make the decision to go into the money market account. All right. If you make the decision to go into the money market account, you're going to have an investment account, which is they're going to be money managers in the background investing very safe securities, like I said, short term treasuries and even repurchase agreements, which you don't need to know. It's like overnight agreements, very safe securities, and they're able to pay you interest. But that money is very liquid, which means you can take that money in and out all you want. Okay. So all you have to do is make a decision when you put that money in, which account it's going to be. After that, it's basically like a wallet. You can still take the money out whenever you want. You can move the money to, say, your investment account quickly and easily if you want. But other than that, it's really nothing to really worry about. When it comes to the sweep account, this is a good account if you don't know what you want to do and you don't want to be in a money market account, because at the end of the day, a money market account is an investment account, so it's not insured. You could technically lose money in that account, but it very rarely happens because of the way money market accounts is set up. On the other end, if you are afraid of that, that sweep account is where you want to be, because that's FDIC insured. That means that whatever money you put in there, up to 250,000, the government will pay you back if something was to happen. That right there is okay. So other than that, you can just use it as if you would any other bank account.
Now, Nicole, correct me if I'm wrong. With this account, you can have over 250,000 in that sweep account, because what they do at the end of the night, they'll split that money up across like multiple banks, right? And in a normal bank account, no matter if you have, say you have 5 accounts at one bank, you're still under that $250,000 limit, right? So if anything happens, you're only insured up to 250,000. But I think in this account, I think it might be a couple
It's
of
5
million.
million. Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep it in there, and then at the end of the night, they'll split that 5 million up across partner banks to make sure you're under that $250,000 limit. Okay, so that's one thing. I know a lot of people sit on cash in their bank accounts, and they might have over 250,000. This one allows you to kind of be FDIC insured, because at the end of the night, they're splitting it across different banks to keep you under those limits in those banks.
Got it. Got it. Wow. See? And what's crazy is that, in my opinion, sometimes you can learn more from, professionals like you all, or just like, a YouTube video, than people that actually work, for
Oh,
the
yeah.
company, the way we break this stuff down. Okay.
So the same money you're scared to invest in the stock market with, these banks are investing overnight and making the money. Another subset of clients they can get. They're not doing this out of generosity of their heart. They're doing it.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.